Good morning, everyone. We'll start with class 6, subject geography. We'll start with chapter 3rd, that is motion of the earth, and subtopic is revolution. In our previous video, we discussed about the rotation, then we discussed about the fact of rotation and the formation of day and night. Okay. So today we talks about the revolution. What is revolution? First we understand the term revolution. Okay. Revolution is the movement of the earth around the sun along its orbit. Orbit is the path along which a planet moves. The earth complete one rotation in 365 in 1/4 days. 1/4 is equal to 6 hours. So we consider a year consisting of 365 days, and this make one earth year. For convenience, we considered of only 365 days and ignore the 6 hours. And these 6 hours are added to make one day after a period of 4 years. This extra day is added to the month of February. Thus, every 4th year, February has 29 days instead of 28. Such a year has 366 days and is called a leap year. So it is very easy to find a leap year. A leap year is divisible. So it is very easy to find a leap year. A leap year is divisible by 4. Okay. So a leap year is divisible by 4. The year 2008, 2012 and 2016 were leap year. The next leap year, 2008 and 2020. So the next leap year will be 2024. Okay. The orbit of the earth is elliptical. Because of the elliptical shape, the distance between the sun and the earth does not remain the same. The distance is least when the earth is said to be a perihelion, and it is maximum when the earth is said to be a aphelion. Okay, look at this figure. The earth's position at perihelion and aphelion, the distance is least when the earth is said to be a perihelion, and it is maximum when the earth is said to be a aphelion. Okay, so next topic we have effect of revolution. Revolution of the earth has the following effect. First is unequal distribution of heat over the earth. Second is variation in length of days and nights, and third one is occurrence of season. First, we talk about the distribution of heat over the earth. Look at this picture. Vertical rays of sun gives more heat than slanting rays. The rays of sun fall on the earth either vertically or in a slanting manner. Vertical rays are direct and concentrated in a small area. Hence, the intensity of heat is much greater. On the other hand, slanting rays are spread over a large area, but the intensity of heat is much lesser. Okay, so it is also to be understand that vertical rays pass through a shorter distance in the atmosphere and have much more intensity of heat. Slanting rays pass through a longer distance in the atmosphere and lose their heat. Regions near equator always receive slanting rays of the sun, therefore these regions are hot throughout the year. As we move away from the equator towards the north and the south pole, the sun rays begin slanting. The amount of heat received becomes lesser. For example, the polar region receive extremely slanting rays of the sun, therefore these regions are very cold. Okay, there is a two question regarding a home assignment. First one is define revolution and second one is what is a leap year. So in this video we talks about the revolution, the fact of revolution, okay, a distribution of heat. Okay, so there is a question and it's compulsory to